Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith. You probably already know that. I want you to know that reviewing movies is something that I'm passionate about, and I try to be impartial. I do. I like to think that despite who's in the film, I'm going to call it even Steven. I try to. I mean, just because a movie has somebody that I crush on doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to give it a better grade. I mean, when I tell you that I've seen a Jessica Chastain movie and I end up giving it an A minus, it's because it deserves an A minus. It's because she picks really good movies to be in and her performance elevates the movies. But then every now and then, one of the people I might crush on might be in a movie that might not be so entertaining, and then I'm torn. Welcome to my dilemma of the movie that is The Only Living Boy in New York. This, of course, is the new film that stars Kate Beckinsale. You remember Kate Beckinsale, don't you? Of course, some of you might remember her in movies such as the Underworld franchise, but for myself, every time Christmas rolls around, I think to myself, what would it be like if I had lost a glove and she had it? Yes, of course, I'm referencing Serendipity. Now, The Only Living Boy in New York is a very interesting film because you really shouldn't like the plot of it. I mean, in the movie, you meet Caleb Turner's character who plays Thomas Webb. Now, Thomas Webb is going through life, trying to be accepted by this girl who's pretty much friend-zoned him. And one day he observes his dad. But his dad's out with a woman that's not his mom. Nope, his dad's out with Kate Beckinsale. You go, Dad. But no, you don't, not you go, Dad, because Dad, you're cheating on Mom. Played very well by Cynthia Nixon, of course, Miranda from Sex and the City. So what do you do when your dad's cheating on Mom? Well, if you're this guy, you start following the mistress, and that's what he does. Now, if you're following Kate Beckinsale, I figure that's not necessarily a bad thing, but he's following the mistress along only to start this really bizarre relationship with her. Now, all the while, he lives in an apartment, and he's got this really interesting neighbor played by Jeff Bridges, who, for a short time, actually loses his typical cowboy accent that we've seen in every other Jeff Bridges movie and takes on more of the role of the secluded artist, the secluded author who lives in the building. Now, this movie wasn't terrible. It just wasn't great. Is it going to be the type of movie that stands the test of time like Serendipity? No. It's a movie that you go to and you think to yourself, this is a really bizarre game of cat and mouse. And I don't know of too many guys who, if they found out their dad was cheating on their mom would start up with the mistress. So that aspect of it's bizarre. But then you gotta grade it on the Kate Beckinsale curve. If this had another actress in it, maybe I might judge it a little differently. But come on, it's the Kate Beckinsale curve. I can't have Kate Beckinsale looking at this review and saying, hey, who's that guy who looks kind of like Denzel Washington? Wait, did he just give me a C minus? No, I didn't. I gave you a B minus. Was it deserved? Kind of. The movie itself is somewhat predictable in the sense that I find a lot of movies, because I see so many, are somewhat predictable. But there's a lot of things about this movie that I found entertaining. There's never necessarily a great reason to cheat on somebody, but it's very interesting how the director kind of spins why things are happening in this film. We also can look at the son in terms of why is he doing the things that he's doing by the deep insecurities that he has around women. It's a very interesting, complex film. Very entertaining in parts, especially the parts that Kate Beckinsale's on the big screen. And then in others, it just might leave you wanting a little more. I give this film a B minus. In all honesty, could be a C plus, but it could also be a B minus, so I'm going to go with that. If you have the chance to see The Only Living Boy in New York, let me know what you think. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier, and WittyWhittier.com. Thank you so much for checking this out. My name is Keith, and I'll see you at the movies.